And there we are.
This has got to be Monday.
It is Monday, Steve, according to my calendar. I put fresh batteries in it, so
Yeah.
I know it's up to date.
And a brand new season.
That's right. Happy Monday. It is the 24th day of September 2018. It is now, as Steve just mentioned, autumn. Autumn made its presence felt Saturday night at 6:54 with the autumnal equinox. So yesterday was the first full day of autumn, and we are here.
And it's late September, and I really should be back at school.
You should be heading back to school, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, you laughed at all my jokes. That's another story altogether. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Steve here, news guy to my immediate left, cat in control. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. Had a good weekend. First of all, how was your weekend?
Lovely. Lovely. Just a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
You didn't do anything, did you?
Spent the whole time, well, kind of indoors, outdoors, you know, but so many good sports on, you know, that I don't want to miss a play. So a lot of NFL, a lot of golf.
Yeah.
You have a little baseball. It's that time of the year, you know.
Yeah.
You have so many things to choose from.
There is. It's a as you would say, a cornucopia.
And if the Cougars are going to coug it, I can't think of a better team to do it against.
Yes. Congratulations to your Trojans. Yes.
We held them off.
Yeah. I had a good weekend. I got a little golf in yesterday, and that's always good. I'm going to get some golf in this week as well. We had a beautiful weekend. This is going to be gorgeous. We're going to be near 80 on Wednesday and Thursday. We haven't seen 80 degrees in about 3 weeks now, and the drought is over.
Yeah,
but
well,
just barely. Just barely.
What, we got a little rain?
We had a passing shower on Saturday afternoon that registered on the rain gauge at Pangbourne 1/100th of an inch, which was enough.
Ooh.
Because it measured. We talked about this. We've talked about this for the last couple of weeks.
Not enough to puddle, though.
I don't know. All I know is that the drought's over. So it was, what, 87 days without measurable rain? Mid-June to late September is a long time to go without measurable rain, but it finally happened on Saturday afternoon. So it wasn't very much, and now we're right back to this dry period. And it's going to stay dry and sunny and mild pretty much all week. A forecast you're going to like. Quick little heads up, now that we're past the autumnal equinox, tomorrow, sunrise 6:52 in the morning, sunset tomorrow 6:52 in the evening.
Interesting.
So we get that 12 and 12, and then we start doing that all the way through late September or all the way through late December when Steve really should be heading back to school.
Yeah.
Steve's got the news. We'll be handling sports, the obscure holiday birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike Benardi's opinion. Jessica Johnson, the executive director of SAGE, came in on Friday to pre-tape her segment because, who's kidding who? Mondays is the hardest day to book a guest on this show. 6:45 on Monday? That happens all the time. You ready to go around the valley?
Sure, let's check out the cameras.
Let's do it and see what we got this morning.
The Valley View.
The cross camera batting leadoff, baseball analogy. Of course, it's the last full week of the baseball season, and I'm getting ready for the playoffs that begin 1 week from today. Good looking shot of Wenatchee, and the sunrise just came up about 11, 12 minutes ago, Steve, so it's just now starting to bathe the valley. Just starting to kiss the higher elevations as the sun begins to climb.
Just a gorgeous morning.
It was a beautiful day yesterday. It really was, and we're in for just a gorgeous, beautiful stretch of weather. Basically lovely, I guess is the best way to put it. Camera 2 is either Cougar Ridge or Bear Mountain. I meant Bear Mountain. That's Cougar Ridge. I was going to say Badger, but that's Cougar. Otabashian Bridge, the Stamilk Complex.
Dead center in the background there, the distance you see Mount Stewart, which was the scene of another search and rescue late last week. We'll have more details.
It's becoming almost a weekly occurrence now.
There's been 4 or 5 rescues out there, including one fatal this year. So, yeah, our search and rescue crews have been really busy.
That's too bad, I'm afraid. Sunny Slopes looking good. Omi Gardens. It's a good time of the year to visit Omi Gardens, by the way. Great time of year to visit Omi Gardens.
Yeah.
Camera 3. Let's say good morning to Stamen Flats. A good dose of Douglas County taking up most of your picture. The Columbia River is rolling right along. Somebody wrote a song called that, Roll on Columbia. You know, it's a good
Looks like somebody's putting in the water down there below.
Yeah, and you can just barely see a little sliver of US 97A at the bottom of your screen. This is just short. When you got to make that decision, do you take the Navarre Coulee Road to get to Chelan, or do you keep right on going on 97A through the Knapp's Hill Tunnel? Good looking view there. And finally, camera 4.
Don't have any construction work on 97A, do we, this week?
I don't believe so. That is Billy Goat zoomed way in. This is an earlier shot. This is about 40 minutes ago, Steve. And that's zoomed in. That's probably about as far as we can get that camera to zoom in.
Well, this past weekend, we had some gorgeous sunrises.
Oh, it'd be beautiful. And of course, that's one of the nice things about getting up early on weekends, because you and I do that. You know, we don't really mess up our body clock. That is Billy.
By the way, Kat, I was going to tell you that the National Weather Service is just falling in love with your time-lapse images from Billy Goat.
Oh, are they really?
Oh, yeah.
They've been liking it?
Oh, liking it so much they've been requesting to use it.
Oh, so, what have we said?
Nope.
Really? We could charge them. It's the National Weather Service. You know?
Absolutely.
And whenever we do the weather forecast, it comes from the National Weather Service. These are the best meteorologists out there. The best job you can get in the world of meteorology is to go to work for NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, because they're the governing entity of the National Weather Service, and these folks know what they're doing. And most of the time, they're right on top of it. Let's take a look at your forecast.
That's a part of the Department of Interior.
Which is part of the United States government.
Yeah.
There, we got all the way up to the top. Sunshine, 75 degrees. That's just a little bit above normal. Our normal high around this time of the year, Steve, is about 74. Although Sunday felt warmer. We went out and played golf, and we were just wearing regular shirts. You know, we only got to 70.
Yeah.
That was it. But it just kind of felt warmer yesterday. 75, 76, 80, 80. Been a long time since we've seen 80. About 3 weeks. Nothing but good stuff. High pressure is large and in charge. There's a very weak cold front that's going to come through Friday night into Saturday. So we're still going to have quite a bit of sunshine, but it's going to be considerably cooler for this upcoming weekend, the final weekend in September. So abundant sunshine, though, for everybody.
A little breezy over the weekend. Caused some problems for firefighters out in Grant County, but we'll tell you about that coming up in a few minutes.
So no complaints there. Thank you, Mother Nature. And even though we did have enough rain to just tipple into the rain gauge at Payneborn on Saturday afternoon, we're still in a drought, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
doesn't end. I mean,
yeah. We could use, not now. I mean, we'll go ahead and take the week as it is, but we could use, say, like on a Monday and Tuesday, a couple of days of cloudy, cool, and some light rain.
Yeah.
Nothing heavy.
No.
Just enough to.
Prescribed rain. That's what we need.
Can we do that?
A prescribed rain. That's what we need.
Let's seed some clouds and get. Of course, you can't seed clouds unless you have clouds. 7.5 minutes after the hour, what happened over the weekend? Turns out a whole bunch. Steve Hare will have your Monday morning headlines when we come back in 1 minute. And the news is brought to you by our friends at Cascade Medical. Train with a physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The NCW Live Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Live Channel is your local TV station.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Well, here we go on a Monday. I'm Steve Hare. Here's what's happening around north central Washington. Apparently, it's back to the drawing board for the developers of a proposed alpine amusement park in Leavenworth. Their application for a conditional use permit with the Leavenworth Adventure Park was withdrawn last week. John Sutherland and David Moffett, the developers, had hoped to build that park on the west end of town off Icicle Valley Road and Highway 2. Now, the plans included the first ever alpine roller coaster ride in the U.S. Now, City Administrator Joel Walensky says the park developers have indicated that they might resubmit a revised plan at a later date.
They do say that they will be resubmitting their application and supporting documents at a future date. So the timeline is on their end in terms of when that would happen. I presume that they'll collect additional information and provide a more robust application at some future date.
Now, in its present proposed location, that project is opposed by the group Friends of Leavenworth, who fear it would add to the city's already congested traffic and parking. Group spokesman Dwayne Gaynor reacted favorably to the news last week.
We are very supportive of the idea of having more family-oriented things in our community. Of course, just many people in the membership believe that. But our concerns continue to be that we don't want to create too much over-tourism in our area so that we basically push out our own community and make it so unbearable for them to reside here.
Over 6,000 people signed an online petition to halt the project. Gaynor says his group is not opposed to the park's concept, but is dead set against its current location. John Sutherland told reporters that he intends to resubmit revised plans that would mitigate the traffic and parking concerns, although they've left open a date when they would resubmit that application for a conditional use permit. Also today, Wenatchee school board members are expected to select a firm to help find a new superintendent when they meet in special session later this morning. The board met last week to interview the 4 finalists, and today they're scheduled to make their final decision. That meeting starts at 9:30 this morning at the district's headquarters in Wenatchee. Also, here was the scene of a traffic accident Saturday on Interstate 90 about 10 miles east of Kittitas. It involved a military Stryker vehicle that plunged down a cliff, injuring 4 soldiers. State Trooper Brian Moore provided us with this image of the accident. He reported the U.S. Army was conducting military exercises near the highway when that vehicle rolled out of control and down that 25-foot embankment. Luckily, the injuries were relatively minor. Also, Grant County fire officials warn residents that the seasons have changed, but the threat remains the same in terms of wildfire, and that threat continues following a close call yesterday in the Ephrata area. Crews from Grant County Fire District 13 responded to a report of a wildfire started by welding and grinding activity near a machine shop in the 13,000 block of Road A5 Northwest. Ephrata city firefighters also responded, helping to put that fire out after it spread to about 5 acres. There were no reports of structure damage there. Also, the Chelan County Sheriff's Department reports a hiker who was injured while climbing Mount Stewart last week was plucked off that mountain with the help of a U.S. Navy helicopter crew. Accident was first reported Thursday evening on the 20th. Now, the initial report said a 21-year-old man was rappelling the west side of the mountain when he suffered equipment failure, causing him to fall about 30 yards. Now, the victim was hoisted up and ferried by helicopter to Pangbourne Airport. From there, he was transported by ambulance to Central Washington Hospital for treatment. His injuries or extent of the injuries is unknown. Well, this week is Young Professionals Week in Wenatchee with a wide variety of activities on tap through the weekend. Now, the Wenatchee Downtown Association and Confluence Health are sponsoring the second year of this event. It's billed as an opportunity for young professionals to network. Events will start today with lunch at Sweetwater Barbecue. It'll end Saturday with a comedy show at Radar Station. In between, there will be gatherings at the Saddle Rock Trailhead, at the new Local Tel Event Center at Pybus Public Market, the Namerica Performing Arts Center, the museum, breweries, and a lot more. You can find a full list of the activities on the Wenatchee Downtown Association's website or on their Facebook page. Also this morning, fall classes are set to get underway today at Wenatchee Valley College. Community College on 5th Street in Wenatchee has an average enrollment of around 7,000 students. In fact, the college president, Jim Richardson, says it looks like that number will edge up this year.
We're sitting pretty good. We're pretty happy. We're watching enrollment go up this year. We've watched it fall for a couple of years in a row, and so it's back, starting that slow climb back up, and we're really appreciative. We put a lot of devices in. We're calling people that haven't registered, that type of thing. So we're doing a lot more recruiting than we ever have. So the enrollment's going back up, and that's a good thing, obviously, for the community as well as the school, because more people are being educated. But the school year looks great. We're excited to get going again.
Richardson says over half of Wenatchee Valley College students are minority and 57% are women. He says the college is proud of the diverse population receiving educations at Wenatchee Valley College.
we have running start students who probably 16, and then we have a lot of returning students. Many of them we have students in the nursing program that are in their 50s. We have students in our technical programs that are that, and even our transfer programs. So, we've got a wide range of the age group. People coming back, and the goal is, better jobs, better employment to help the community, because most of our students stay here after they graduate.
We should have a better gauge on enrollment numbers later in the week after they get a better head count of the students arriving for the fall term. Finally, Chelan County Public Works Department, they want to sell you an old bridge, truthfully. The West Kashmir Bridge is poised to be replaced soon, and the old bridge is being placed up for sale. In fact, a video produced by the agency describes the old span and its history.
Commonly called the Goodwin Bridge by locals, the bridge for nearly 90 years served the needs of orchardists and the traveling public. But today it's slated for replacement. The bridge is posted for weight and height restrictions. County engineers predict the bridge may be closed by 2022 because of its progressive deterioration. A new bridge will be built in 2020 for an estimated cost of $23.5 million. Construction on the old bridge started in September 1928. It was built for a mere $52,000. When opened for traffic in the summer of 1929, the bridge was praised by local newspapers. The Kashmir Valley Record called it the most spectacular and beautiful bridge in all Chelan County. The Wenatchee World described it as one of the finest traffic bridges in the state. The bridge was designed by Maury M. Caldwell, who designed other notable bridges throughout the state. The most significant segments of the bridge are its two 117-foot riveted steel Warren deck truss spans with verticals. The main span trusses for the Kashmir Bridge are called deck trusses, which means its supporting framework extends below the roadway. The supporting framework distributes the forces to which the span is subjected. A design first patented in England in the mid-19th century, a Warren truss, such as on the West Kashmir Bridge, comprises a series of steel members that form equilateral triangles on either side of a bridge along its length. For additional strength, vertical support members were typically added between the apex and center of the base of the triangles in an alternating pattern. While a number of Warren pony and through truss bridges can still be found in Washington, few built before the 1930s have endured, and a surviving deck truss highway bridge from that era, like the West Kashmir Bridge, is even more of a rarity. Because of the historical significance of the two Warren truss sections, Chelan County is hoping they can be saved. The county will donate the trusses to any governmental, nonprofit, or responsible private entity for public or private use. The offer remains open until January 2019. If you are interested in preserving a piece of Washington's history, contact us at Chelan County Public Works.
So what do I hear for an opening bid, Dan?
I'd love to buy the bridge. I really would. I'm not a responsible private entity, as the video described. I can tell you, though, I have lost many a rearview mirror on the Goodwin Bridge over the years.
Is that right?
Well, 2 trucks. I mean, they don't even have to be semis. They just have to be regular trucks. There are a couple of them here in the Wenatchee Valley. If they pass each other on the bridge, you can kiss your rearview mirror on the outside goodbye, because they're going to hit.
I was going to try to talk Dimitri into buying it as our new sky bridge between our two buildings here. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
Connect the 2 buildings with the Goodwin Bridge.
With the old Goodwin Bridge, yeah.
So,
kind of angled that way, So.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, they're going to have to build the new bridge where the old bridge is. Most of the time, they just build a bridge next to it.
Yeah.
But they can't do that in this case. No. They're going to have to tear down the old bridge and put up the new bridge, and that's going to make things, for the folks who use that bridge on a daily basis,
I think they did the same thing up at Cheap Joe Jam. Mm-hmm. They had that old bridge up there that they had to replace, and so I think they sold the old bridge and replaced it with the new one.
Oh.
So, yeah. See, I believe. Commissioner Steve Jenkins, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what
don't worry, he never watches this show. Let's take you around the valley with our temperatures right now. Let's see. We have in Omak here at 41, Kashmir 45. Downtown Palisades, 50.
Downtown
Palisades. Suburban Palisades, 51. And here in the big city, we're checking in at 47 degrees. Lots of sunshine. Beautiful day today. Beautiful week. lots of sunshine for everybody, a little cooler on Saturday and Sunday as a cold front comes in, but we're going to be kissing 80 on Wednesday and Thursday, and I can live with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Grant Olson has it easy because he also handles our weather forecast. When he does the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, it's going to be a piece of cake for Grant. Sunny and nice. That's all he's got to say. Grant in the Anchorage chair, Eric Granstrom handles sports. Our newscast comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. You can also watch it on our Facebook page on demand. You can also watch it on our website on demand. And those are two of the many tools you can use to get a hold of us, news guy Steve Hare.
Always looking for news ideas and suggestions, folks. If you do have something you'd like to share with us, whether it's an event or a program or just general news, let us know about it at ncwlife.com, our website. You can also contact us via social media on Facebook and Twitter. Of course, email is a preferred alternative. Our address is news@ncwlife.com. And as always, if you see breaking news happening, give us a call on our breaking news hotline, 888-6295.
21 minutes after the hour, what teams do you follow? How do they do over the weekend? We'll let you know with sports. It's coming up. Also, the obscure holiday today and history birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike McNanny's opinion. And my conversation with one of my very favorite guests on this program, Jessica Johnson from Sage. You don't want to miss that. They got a big event coming up at Riverfront Park this Saturday. All right, all of that coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Fall is in the air and so is the aroma of sizzling bratwurst. It's time once again for the Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Enjoy 3 full weekends of fun for everyone. Your thirst will be satisfied with a variety of authentic German beer, and your hunger will be filled with German brats right off the grill. The sounds of Oompa will be delivered in 4 venues with live non-stop entertainment. For information or to purchase tickets, go on to leavenworthoktoberfest.com.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 23 minutes after the hour. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's do sports. Seahawks used 2 of their staples from the past, a strong defense and a strong running game, and they knocked off the Dallas Cowboys yesterday at CenturyLink Field 24-13. Earl Thomas had a couple of interceptions. Justin Coleman recovered a forced fumble by Bradley McDougall, and Jaron Reed had 2 of the Seahawks' 5 sacks of Dak Prescott. Offensively, Seattle finally got its running game going. Chris Carson became the first Seahawk to rush for over 100 yards in a game since Thomas Rawls did it in the 2016 season. Carson, 32 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Russell Wilson, he was all right. He completed 16 of 26 for 192 yards and a couple of touchdowns to Tyler Lockett and Jaron Brown. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said this is what they've been trying to achieve. It just took 3 weeks to get there.
We've been trying to get to our formula, and we just didn't get started well in the first couple of games. But this is how we want to play, and we couldn't be any more specific about it. We want to run the football, we want to play defense, and use the kicking game as much as we can to control the field, and all those things happened today. Defense played really well all day long. We gave up a little bit of yardage rushing, in particular late when, usually teams are throwing the football. They got some easy runs on us, but the pass rush was terrific overall with 5 sacks. 3 turnovers by the D2 picks, and then the great play by Bradley McDougall on the forced fumble. Really good stuff. Earl had a heck of a game with his 2 picks. Both of them were fantastic catches. I didn't get to see them as clear as I want to and will, but they looked incredible, and those were great plays. really proud to see the offensive line be able to go out there and protect Russ and allow us to run the football. We ran the ball 39 times a day. That's what we're talking about. And Chris was really a workhorse today, over 30 carries. And I just thought that the whole feel of it, the whole attitude, the mentality, and everything fit together precisely how we hope to see it. And now it's our job to keep, to recreate it and do something again with it this week.
For the Seahawks, are 1-3 on the young season. They'll hit the road next week. They take on the 0-3 Arizona Cardinals. Well, the Mariners eliminated from any chance to make the playoffs over the weekend. They lost 2 of 3 to Texas, including yesterday's 6-1 finale in Arlington. Wade LeBlanc cruising right along, got to the 6th inning, and then Seattle was leading 1-0 in the bullpen. Kind of oops. They ran into trouble. They allowed 4 runs in the frame. Texas went on, as you see there, to win 6-1. Seattle hosts Oakland for the first of 3 games tonight. At Safeco Field, James Paxton will toe the rubber for the M's. Daniel Medgin will start for the Athletics. 7:10 first pitch. The A's can lock up a wild card playoff spot if they win or Tampa Bay loses over the next couple of days. Oakland can still catch the Yankees for the first wild card position. They're a game and a half back with 7 games to go. The Yankees are guaranteed a wild card position no matter what happens. Speaking of the rest of the American League West, your Les Schwab scoreboard. Let's take a look-see. Kyle Gibson allowed 1 run in 7 2/3 innings. Minnesota kept Oakland from locking up the wild card spot, 5-1 there. And Framber Valdez struck out 9 over 6 innings. The Astros' magic number to clinch the division is down to 3 games. Houston swept Los Angeles 6-2. The Wenatchee Wild went 1-1 over the weekend at the BCHL Showcase in Chilliwack. Wenatchee beat Alberni Valley Friday 5-1. 2 goals from Matt Gosinski and a goal each from Murphy Stratton, Christoph Fillin, and Christoph Tellier. And then on Saturday, the Wild were blanked by Chilliwack 2-0. Wenatchee takes her 4-2 record into West Kelowna Wednesday to take on the Warriors at 7 o'clock. They'll be in Vernon Friday and Trail on Saturday. To the Les Schwab College football scoreboard, Cougars. They lost a track meet Friday night to USC, 39-36. The game-tying field goal blocked with just under 2 minutes to play. Gardner Minshew threw for 344 yards and 3 touchdowns in the loss for the Cougars. Jake Browning, 202 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns. Huskies hold off Arizona State, 27-20. Antone Custer Jr. ran for 133 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Eastern Washington scored 6 times on the ground. They blew out Cal Poly 70-17, and Christian Cummings rushing for 3 touchdowns. Central Washington racking up 315 yards on the ground alone. They beat Simon Fraser 63-10. High school football. Let's turn back the clock to Friday night. Eastmont had its 8-game winning streak dating back to last year snapped in Spokane. West Valley got the better of the Wildcats. The final was 14-10. Wenatchee won their 2nd straight in a row. They were down in Yakima. They shut out Eisenhower 14-0. Kashmir dropped a heartbreaker to Cheney 31-36. Cascade is 3-1. They had no problems with the Kings. They beat Kings 40-10. Chelan knocking off Granger, winning on the road 49-7. In Central Washington B football, Aniet walloped Welpenitz 60-12. Bridgeport shuts out Waterville Mansfield, as you see on your screen there. Wilbur Creston beat Manson 32-6. Soccer over the weekend, Cascade lost 4-1. Finally, this week on the NCW Live Channel sports schedule. Begin our week tomorrow night. We'll be at Eastmont High School. The Wildcats and the Panthers will do battle in volleyball. Eric will be there with your play-by-play that begins at 7 o'clock. On Thursday, we're going to re-air Eastmont's soccer match with Eisenhower at 7 o'clock. And on Friday, our first Panther broadcast of the season. In football, Panthers go for a 3rd win in a row. They'll take on Moses Lake. This will be a good one. Pregame Friday, leave off the field at the Apple Bowl, 6:45. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Eric Grandstrom and Grant Olson on the call. That's sports at 28 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday on this 24th day of September. It's Punctuation Day. It's all about periods and commas and semicolons and apostrophes and hyphens and dashes and brackets and question marks and exclamation point. Apparently it's Pippi National Punctuation Duh is what it is today. So apparently we didn't use our punctuation properly. Punctuation is important, especially if you're a writer and you understand how sentence structure works. I have a couple of friends who are just real anal about proper use of punctuation. And if you forget, just open up a dictionary and they all have it, how you use it and how you put it in context of the words and how the words are supposed to flow. So, PP National Punctuation D today on this, the 24th day of September. Today in history, 1, 2, 3, 4 items, and they're all aviation related. Let's go flying. Or in the case of Henry Giffard, the first guy who actually flew an airship that he could steer. It's a blimp, essentially, but before September 24th, 1852, even though blimps existed, you couldn't steer them. They went up, they went down, but you were at the whim of the winds and the tides and whatever it could be. But on this date, September 24th, 1852, 166 years ago in Paris, Henry Giffard actually flew a powered blimp with a 3-horsepower steam engine. He could actually steer it. He could go where he wanted to go. Nobody had ever done this before. He flew it for 17 miles. Aviation history made on this date 166 years ago. September 24th, 1911. Oops. If you're going to call an airship and you're going to give it a name, don't name it the Mayfly. The Mayfly, because she didn't. Her Majesty's Airship Number 1, the very first blimp ever built in Great Britain, was ready for her maiden flight. As you can see, it's really big. They towed it out of the hangar. A bunch of winds came and they broke the darn thing in half. Never made it off the ground. So her maiden flight of the Mayfly didn't fly on this date, September 24th, 1911. On an entirely different note, September 24th, 1929, Jimmy Doolittle did the impossible. They thought he was nuts. He said, trust your instruments. The biggest problem pilots have is they get up there and they lose their spatial identity and they lose track and boom, they start crashing. Jimmy Doolittle took off, flew, and landed blind. He flew an airplane without a window and did the entire thing on instrument flying, just to let everybody know that flying strictly by looking at your instruments is actually possible. That took guts. And it happened on this date, September 24th, 1929. He flew an airplane, flew it up, flew it around, landed it without looking at where he was going. That's pretty impressive. And September 24th, 1972, Japan Airlines Flight 472, I told you it was all about aviation, landed at Juru Aerodrome in Bombay, India. Took off from Tokyo, landed at Juru Aerodrome in Bombay, India. It was supposed to land at the Santa Cruz Airport in Bombay, India. Landed in the wrong airport. 5 miles difference between the two airports. And as soon as the pilot touched down, he goes, uh-oh, this runway isn't long enough. Now he hit the gas, the reverse thrusters, the whole 9 yards. The plane landed very roughly, went off the edge of the runway. A couple people had minor injuries. Outside of that, everybody was okay. You're really supposed to know what airport you're supposed to land on when you take off. Missed that one. 32 minutes after the hour, some birthdays. Supreme Court, of course, is in the news, big time in the news with what's going on with Brett Kavanaugh. The most important justice in this country's history was born in the state in 1755, the 4th Chief Justice of the United States, John Marshall, the longest-serving Chief Justice in history, the 4th longest-serving justice of any kind of all time, and the man who said, we're the ones who get to tell you what is and is not constitutional. Before John Marshall joined the Supreme Court, and they really embraced judicial review. Essentially, if a law was passed by Congress and signed into law by the president, it was assumed to be constitutional. And John Marshall said, nah, if it violates the United States Constitution, we're going to let you know, and we mean it. John Marshall, the most important justice in this country's history, was born in the state in 1755. Jim McKay was my favorite sportscaster growing up. Of course, Wild World of Sports, highly influential for 37 years. He was the host of Wild World of Sports. Very well known for, he won a Emmy Award and a Pulitzer Prize for his coverage of the 1972 Munich Games. The great Jim McKay was born in the state in 1921. We lost Jim about 10 years ago. And Jim Henson, a legend among legends, the puppeteer, director, producer, screenwriter, created the Muppets. Of course, Jim Henson was born in this state in 1936, passed away way too young at the age of 53. We miss you, Kermit the Frog. 33 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, everybody's entitled to Mike McNighty's opinion. And then you do not want to miss this conversation that's coming up. Jessica Johnson, our friend from SAGE, important information that you need to know about. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Yippee Skippy and Yahoo Wenatchee Valley, Collins Fashions launches our buy one red tag clothing item and get the next red tag clothing item free. That's right, free. Awesome selection of tanks, tees, capris, ankle pants, dresses, etc. Quality brands like Not Your Daughter's Jeans, Jag, French Dressing, Joseph Ribkoff, Tommy Bahama, and many more. Selected sale on Brighton and Lotus handbags and wallets. Sandals from Soft to Nicole on sale as well. Awesome sale, awesome service at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
You can buy fruit almost anywhere. From first off the tree to first in your hands, Lone Pine offers seasonal fruit from their farm and around the region every day. Make Lone Pine your latte stop with coffee from Blue Star Coffee Roasters and a fresh piece of fruit pie. Take a break with a friend and order a cold microbeer or a glass of Northwest wine. Bring the whole family and enjoy a Lone Pine lunch or a fresh shake in their park-like setting. Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso on Highway 97.
Only one country could build a truck like this. Designed in California, engineered in Michigan, tested in Arizona, and assembled in Mississippi. Powered by Cummins of Indiana. The all-new Nissan Titan. It's an American classic. Is it on your list? Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, speaking of the red light cameras, when they were installed, the police department claimed the motive was to promote traffic safety, not to increase revenue. I said then and I say now, hogwash. Sure, these intersections with the cameras can be dangerous, and the cops do want people to stop for red lights. I mean, duh. But what's wrong with making a little money when people do run the lights? I mean, really? I mean, what's wrong with the income potential here? When we accept our driver's license, we are agreeing to the traffic code. Therefore, we agree to pay a fine if we're caught committing a traffic infraction. So if a camera catches you, either pay up or shut up or give up your license. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Localtel. The annual Dahlia Show is this Saturday and Sunday at Pybus Market. Come see the state's best collection of dahlias at this free event. Also at Pybus is Sage's Child Advocacy Center When I Grow Up 5K Fun Run and Walk. It's happening on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Safety, Advocacy, Growth, Empowerment. That's an acronym called SAGE. And the Executive Director of SAGE is a regular guest on this program because we love Jessica and the crew at SAGE. They do important work, they do sobering work, and they do it very, very well. The Executive Director of SAGE is back again for another appearance. Jessica Johnson, hi.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
It's always great. You have it any time you want to come by, please do. Last time, if you remember, about a month ago, Jessica came by with Hank, the dog. Hank couldn't make it this time around. For those who can't remember about Hank's role and why you have Hank and all about Hank, just give us a quick refresher.
Sure. So Hank has been in our center since June 1st, and his title is a court facility dog. And what Hank does is that he provides comfort to kids, adults who may be experiencing some difficulty, especially kids who do forensic interviews at our place. So what he'll do is he'll go in and he has special commands, snuggle and visit, and he'll get up and he'll snuggle in the kiddo's lap. And while they're talking to the detective or the interviewer, it gives them something to do. He pet him, play with his ears, whatever, and he just kind of snoozes. He's getting ready to be introduced to the courtroom hopefully soon, so that's his next step. But yeah, if anybody wants to come and meet Hank, they can just come down to the office, and if we're there, then we'll certainly make that happen. So, and they can also request Hank for an appointment too.
For the first 3 months that Hank's been in your care and being part of the SAGE family, is it working so far? I mean, the first 3 months, you can see results already?
Yes. The kids who come in for interviews are often nervous. They don't know what to expect, which usually is the case when anybody comes in for an interview. But especially if they know they're going to be talking to a police officer or a detective or a CPS worker, once they meet Hank, they just kind of melt, and Hank curls up in their lap and they just talk. And sometimes they have to talk about some really hard things. So it's nice for Hank to be there. And the most troublesome thing about Hank is sometimes he snores during the recording for the interviewing. So, I mean, if you have to deal with a snore, I guess that's okay.
That's true.
You know.
And the next step for Hank is to actually be in a courtroom situation when a kid has to testify for the record, and he's not quite there yet. You're working your way into that.
Right. We've been doing lots of visits up to the courthouse. Also, the prosecutor will have to make that argument to the judge or make that motion to the judge, and then he'll be ready to go. We'll probably do a couple trial runs where we just go up and sit in the witness box. What will happen usually is that the kid can either choose to walk the dog in, and we'll settle him in the witness box with him, or we can already have Hank in the witness box, and then the child will come in. So I'm hoping, because sometimes I have to testify as a blind witness, I'm hoping they're going to let me have Hank in the witness box with me. I'm going to guess that that's probably going to be a no, but it would be nice. So.
But the final arbiter on whether Hank is allowed into the courtroom are the judges themselves. They control the courtroom, so that's their final decision on that.
Yeah, so we will work with that.
When Hank came in, and he was just a wonderful guest, he kind of just laid here. He did it very well, I might add. Do people meet when they see Hank because of the way he was trained and his general disposition? They want to pet him immediately. Is that a cool thing? I mean, let me draw this analogy. When you see a seeing eye dog out on the street helping a visually impaired person, you're not supposed to interact with the dog, even though human nature says I want to do it. Is that an issue with Hank in that regard?
Not as much, because although we do ask staff not to interact with him when he has his vest on. His vest is his cue that he's working. Kids, not so much. We'll take him out into the lobby and let him visit, or into the playroom. Adults, too, not so much. If they're a client or a guest of SAGE, it's okay. I like it when people ask me if they can pet him, just in case. But We have a cat at home that bullies Hank because she's just that way, and Hank's never even made, the only reason she bullies him is because he exists, basically, and Hank has never even made an attempt to like put her in her place. So, and he's much bigger than she is, but so he's very well behaved. He responds to commands, and he does what he needs to do. So, yeah, when his vest is off, then he can be a puppy play because he's only a year and a half old. And when his vest is on, then he knows that he's working. So a cute story about that. He was in my office, and he didn't have his vest on. He had had an interview or something, so we took his vest off, and he was playing and stuff like that. And somebody brought a child back to pick Hank up to go do a session, and the child comes in, and she goes, "Why is he naked?" And I looked at the advocate, and I'm like, "Why is Hank naked? Why is Hank naked?" And then I was like, "Oh, he doesn't have his vest on. Well, let's get him dressed." So, I mean, like, those kinds of things happen quite regularly. He makes it a much better place to work, and we really enjoy having him.
Tell me about the trading card. This is kind of cool. You brought, couldn't have Hank, but we have Hank's got a trading card.
Right, his business card, I call it. This is actually an idea that I didn't come up with. Other places who have court facility dogs, they have trading cards, and they actually do a series. So like this is the first in the Hank series. So once we run out of these, we'll pick different poses and get others. And kids like to take something home with them. So this is something that they can take home and they can share with their friends. Like, look, I get to go see this cool dog Hank. And then we're also going to get little miniature Hanks that the kiddos can take home too. So we're working on that. So
let's talk about Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday is our first annual, hopefully annual, 5K fun run walk for kids and families. It's titled what does it say? When I Grow Up. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
When I Grow Up, and this is the flyer. It's at Pybus Market, and it starts at 10 a.m. I think the run will start at 10:30. We'll have a bouncy house. We'll have booths. We'll have information. And it's just a fun time for people to get out, and we're encouraging costumes for adults and kids so that they can dress up to be what they want to be when they grow up. And the fire department's going to be there. We have some first responders, police, sheriff's office, lots of different people who are going to be there, and it'll just be a fun time. Hank will be there. Good. So, and Hank has a costume. Well, I don't know what it is yet, but Hank will have a costume on. So he'll be there to be able to greet people, and there's nothing better than he likes than being able to see kids. So.
Can you you have to register, or can you just show up and say, here's my money, Jessica, I'll walk for you?
You can, we prefer that you register online. You can register at our www.findsafety.org, and if you click on the events, it'll take you right to the 5K, and you can click on that. The individual cost is $25. The family cost, a family of 4, is $40, so you get a deal with that. So that's quite a big break. So I signed up yesterday, I think. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. This is the first time. Stacy is the person who put this all together, so she's really excited about it, a little nervous about it. So it'll be fine. And you know, the first time you do any event, it's kind of one of those things.
And I have I'm spitballing here, but I have a feeling that since the Pybus is such a gathering place, is where communities meet, and it's not just a slogan, it's the real deal. There are going to be people down at the Pybus, and people are going to be walking the riverfront trail and going to go, what's this all about? Yeah, I'll do this. Right. You're going to have people who are just going to show up, not even know what's going on, and participate. Right.
So. We'll have other packets ready too. So, and you know, if people just want to come by and walk it, volunteer for it, that's great.
How are you sitting for volunteers? Are you doing okay?
We're doing okay, but we always need more volunteers, not only for just events, but like for our crisis line too. So if people want to volunteer to be on our crisis line, that would be great too. We have training coming up in November.
Have victims of domestic violence that have gone through the system, they're on their way back now, and the ship has been righted. Do they turn around and say, I don't have any money, Jessica, but I got time. Can I help you guys out because you helped me out? Does that happen?
A lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will gift us with their time. We ask them to wait to be on the crisis line for about a year, maybe 2, until they're after they've kind of healed from their victimization. it's really hard to be on the crisis line right after you have had something happen to you, like domestic violence. So that's for as much their sake as anybody else's sake. And then, but yeah, we love to have them. They'll come in and they'll help with different projects. They'll help with tabling. Sometimes they'll just be in an event and say, "Yeah, Sage helped me out," and when I needed it, and that's a really good thing. So
now the question I hate to ask Jessica, but I ask it every time she's here: are you busy?
We are not as busy as we have been. It's kind of taken a lull, but I expect to see that pop back up. Once school gets started, we tend to get busier. So school will have been in session for about a month, and I expect to see an uptake in that.
Which sucks.
Yes.
There you go. I
yes,
said it.
It does.
I said it. Domestic Violence Awareness Month is October, right?
Right, that's correct.
What do you hope to gain out of, on November 1st and October's done, what are you taking away, what do you want people to take away from it? There's help out there.
Right, is the main thing is that there's help out there and we're here for you to help you get it. I always tell people that it's my job to help navigate you through that. It's not my job to be the driver. So like, I liken it to if we were on the bus, you're the bus driver, I'm the person with the map. I'm hoping that you'll slow down and tell me to get off the bus instead of just push me out the door. But that's my job, is just to help you navigate the system and to make things better for you, hopefully.
That's an interesting metaphor. I
yeah,
like that.
I mean, it's one way that I could get people to understand that.
Well, it worked for me. Anybody in law enforcement will tell you, I don't care if you're a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, the last call they ever want to roll out is domestic disturbance.
That's true.
There's voices being raised in the apartment next door. There's something not right. That's the one they hate the most. But the relationship that Sage has with law enforcement is critical.
It is.
Because they're the ones who are kind of steering people in your direction.
Right. And I think it's important for us to talk about the fact that all of our services are free and confidential. So even if it's a police officer who calls and says, "Hey, Jessica, did Sarah come down and get services? I referred her to you." I can't answer that question. And people oftentimes get a little upset with me when I say I can't either confirm nor deny that that person has been in. They said that that's a non-answer, or maybe that's just the answer that you say when somebody actually has come in. It's the answer that we say anytime. I can't confirm because sometimes it's a life and death situation. Sometimes we are looking at getting that person out of town so that their abuser can't find them and so that they can be safe. Once a person leaves, the instances of violence raise up to 75%. It's a very dangerous time for a person who leaves a domestic violence situation.
That's an alarming statistic.
It is.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
We joke about it, but we mean it. We want Jessica to be unemployed, but unfortunately, apparently that's not going to happen for the foreseeable future. We've talked about this before. I'll mention it again. The opioid epidemic, if I can't say that, plays a significant role in what's going on right now in domestic violence, doesn't it?
It does.
Drug and alcohol abuse is a problem.
It does, but and it is a fact, if somebody can hit you when they're high or they're drunk, they can also hit you when they're sober. Domestic violence isn't caused by drug and alcohol abuse, it's just escalated by it. I can share with you that in my situation, it was always worse when he was high. But it also is a way for people to understand or people to minimize. Sometimes they'll say, well, you know, that doesn't happen when they're not drinking or when they're not high. And I always have to say, you know, but it will at some point. I'm not trying to scare the person, but I am trying to make sure that they understand that domestic violence just doesn't go away. It's something that it doesn't discriminate. You can be young, old, you can be rich, poor, you can be purple with pink polka dots. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It happens.
There is help. That's that bottom line. There is help. You're not alone, and people have been there and done that and gotten out of it. And the light is there at the end of the tunnel. All you have to do is understand where the tunnel is, and the tunnel is Sage. Let's end on a happy note. Let's do this one more time, please. Give us the gist.
Oh, so it's when I grow up. See, it was easier for me to say it the second time. It's the 5K Fun Run and Walk. It's on Saturday, the 29th at 10 a.m. at Pybus Market. It's $25 for individuals, $40 for families. Hank will be there, the most important person of the group of Sage. He will be there, and he will be in costume, so we encourage people to come in costume if they would like. This is the first time we've done this, but we're looking forward to it. In the last weekend of October, I think it's on Make a Difference Day, we are also doing our second annual Monster Bash, and that is a trunk or treat event where we'll have bouncy houses and games, and we encourage parents to bring their kids in costume. If they don't want to go out on the 31st in dark, it'll be in the afternoon, it'll be during the day. It starts at 10, and we'll do some fun stuff there too. So, and Hank will be there again in costume, because who doesn't love a dog in costume?
Amen to that.
Right.
And if you for whatever reason you can't make it, you can cut them a check. You can volunteer your time. They do good and important work, and they need the support of our community. And I think you get it for the most part, don't you?
Yeah. We're getting ready to ramp up for our next gala event too. So that'll be in March. So.
Jessica Johnson is Executive Director of Sage. Get a hold of him. The crisis line is available 24/7.
Yes,
anytime. Somebody will answer that phone and take care of you if you're in that kind of situation. Call them, please. Call them. Jessica, we will see you Saturday morning.
Yes, we will.
All right.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar, brought to you by Local Tel. Hands Across the Bridge is this Saturday from noon to 5:30 at the Walking Bridge in Walla Walla Point Park for National Recovery Month. Speakers and food will be in the park after. Saturday and Sunday is the Autumn Leaf Festival and Parade in downtown Leavenworth. Bring the family to this free event celebrating the turning colors. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job.
I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
This is State Representative Kerry Kandata inviting you to watch our new and improved 12th District 2.0 show. Now featuring more information on federal, state, and local issues in a leaner, faster format. Guest hosts John Wise and Shiloh Shower bring it all home with yours truly, Kerry Kandata. Why do we call it 2.0? Because just like me, it's the stronger, faster, and lighter version of today's politics. Also available on demand at ncwlife.com.
And welcome back here. We're live from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee. In the 90 seconds or so we have left, let's take a look at your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Abundant sunshine, mild temperatures. Today's high of 75, a little bit above normal, 76, even more above normal. Look at that. Wednesday and Thursday, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, high of about 80. On Wednesday and Thursday, it's been at least 3 weeks, if not longer than that, since the last time we saw 80 degrees. Here in the valley floor. Good looking Friday too, quite a bit of sunshine. Now Friday night a weak cold front comes in. All it's going to do is make things cooler. It's not going to bring us any rain or real significant wind at all. Just a couple of passing clouds. Outside of that, quite a bit of sunshine for weekend activities on Saturday and Sunday, and there are a lot of them with highs about 70 on Saturday and 66 on Sunday. Perfect forecast to start out autumn 2018. Got a busy week for you here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Tomorrow my guests will be our good friends from the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association. The Youth Hunting and Fishing Day is this Saturday. They'll be in on tomorrow. So on Wednesday we're going to see, we're going to visit with Aaron Cass and Karen Rutherford. It's time to build that bra chandelier Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, is October. That'll be my guests on Wednesday. We got Alan Moen, the biggest known celebrity in Auntie Ed's history. He'll be dropping by as well. Bonnie Orr will be putting your garden to bed on Friday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Jam-packed week. Looking forward to it. Everybody have a great Monday. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.